Almost every comparison of these two ends in exactly the same place. NordVPN wins. Here is my link. Thanks for watching. This video is going to tell you NordVPN wins as well. Then it is going to explain why you might still buy the cheaper one on purpose. What I want to show you is what each one really costs after the introductory price runs out, and what people say once that second bill lands. The feature lists barely differ. The billing is where these two are genuinely different products. I have not run either of these on my own machine for a year, and I am not going to pretend otherwise. What I did instead was read both pricing pages down into the checkout, small print. Then I read what customers filed about both companies on Trustpilot and Reddit. That small print is where this comparison is actually decided. So here is the verdict up front before any of the detail. If you want the better product and the monthly number is not what keeps you awake, buy NordVPN. It is the stronger service in 2026, and nearly every independent test this year agrees. If budget is the real constraint and you mostly connect close to home, PureVPN does the job for roughly half the money. Quick disclosure. PureVPN is the one I have an affiliate link for. It is in the description, and I earn a commission if you use it. That is the short version. The reason this is not a 2-second decision is that the cheaper one is cheaper in a way that is very easy to misread. Number 1. What you are actually choosing between. Both of these are consumer VPNs, and they do the same core job. Your traffic goes out through their server instead of straight from your machine. Your internet provider stops seeing which sites you are visiting, and the sites stop seeing where you really are. That is the whole product. NordVPN sits inside Nord Security and its higher tiers bundle in a password manager, cloud storage, and malware protection. PureVPN is part of a group called PureSquare, and its higher tiers add a password manager and dark web monitoring. Both let you cover 10 devices on one account. So on paper, you are choosing between two very similar things. The difference lives in the network and in the bill. Number 2, where NordVPN wins. First, reach. When Gizmodo retested both in July of this year, they put NordVPN at 71 more countries than PureVPN. PureVPN runs somewhere north of 6,500 servers, but across roughly 70 countries. If you need to appear somewhere unusual, one of these is far more likely to have a server there. Second, consistency over distance. This is the one people misread. PureVPN can post a slightly quicker raw number on a nearby server, and security.org found exactly that in March. But over long routes, NordVPN holds more of your speed, and holding it is what you actually feel on a video call. Third, the layers on top. Multi-hop, traffic obfuscation, servers that run from memory instead of a hard disk, and streaming that tends to work without you cycling through 6 servers looking for one that is not blocked. So if what you want is something that quietly works and never asks you to manage it, NordVPN wins, and it is not close. Number 3, where PureVPN wins. First, the entry price, and it is not a small gap. On its 2-year plan at the time of recording, PureVPN's standard tier is $2.15 a month, billed as $57.95 upfront. That covers 27 months. Second, and this is the part almost everyone skips, the auditing. PureVPN has been through 4 KPMG audits. It also runs what it calls an always-on arrangement, where KPMG can come in unannounced and publish whatever it finds. Gizmodo called that verification setup the strongest thing about the company. For a product whose entire value is a promise you cannot personally check, that matters more than a feature list. Third, a slightly longer safety net, 31 days to get your money back, against 30 at NordVPN. 1 extra day sounds like nothing, but it is 1 more weekend to actually test the thing. So if the monthly number is what decides this for you, PureVPN wins that column outright. Number 4, what it actually costs once the first term ends. Here is the number neither company leads with. Both advertise a heavily discounted first term and both then renew at a much higher rate. What differs is how honest the page is about it. NordVPN prints the renewal straight on the pricing card. On the plan I pulled up, the introductory payment covers 27 months, and the card states plainly what it renews at every year after that. Work it back to a yearly rate, and the renewal runs at roughly 3 times the introductory one. It is a big jump, and they tell you before you click. PureVPN does not put that number on the card. The checkout says your subscription renews at the current renewal rate and links out to a separate page for what that rate is. Security. Org and FrankVPN both report the standard 2-year plan, renewing at $47.95 a year. That is about $4 a month against the $215 you signed up at. VPN Alert wrote that they could not find renewal pricing on the pricing page at all. They had to contact customer support to get it. So PureVPN's jump is the smaller one. NordVPN's is bigger and printed on the card. Decide which of those two bothers you more, because that is the real trade here. Number 5. The complaint they share. This is the part I did not expect. The loudest complaint about both companies is the same complaint. For NordVPN, Trustpilot reviewers describe buying a short subscription for a trip, getting renewed for a further term, and being refused a refund. The position users consistently report is that the 30-day guarantee covers your first purchase only, not a renewal. There is a page at classaction.org dated February this year collecting auto-renewal and refund complaints against them. For PureVPN, the threads on Reddit read almost identically. No warning before the renewal, no notification when the money left, and in some accounts a cancellation that was confirmed and then billed anyway. VPN ranks notes complaints about getting refunds despite the 31-day guarantee. Now, for balance, both companies have far more satisfied customers than angry ones. PureVPN sits somewhere between 4.2 and 4.7 out of 5, depending which source you read. That is across about 17,800 Trustpilot reviews as of the middle of this year. NordVPN's reviews skew positive too, but the unhappy people are unhappy about the identical thing. So whichever one you choose, go into your account and switch auto-renew off the day you buy it. That one action removes the single most common complaint filed against both of these companies. Number 6. The trust question. Both of these have a real incident in their past, and you should know both. In 2017, PureVPN handed over information that helped identify a user while advertising a no-logs policy. That is not a rumor, and it is the reason the KPMG arrangement I mentioned exists at all. NordVPN had a server breached in 2018, which came out in 2019. Their answer was to move the whole fleet to disk-less servers that keep nothing when powered down, and to keep commissioning independent audits. Neither company is disqualified by that today, but it tells you something worth carrying. A VPN's promise is only ever worth whatever verifies it. So if audit history is genuinely your deciding factor, PureVPN's always-on arrangement is the more aggressive of the two, and that catches people by surprise. Number 7. The verdict 3 ways. If this is your first VPN and you want to install it and forget it, buy NordVPN. Better network, steadier speeds, streaming that behaves. You are paying more for not having to think about it. If you are price-driven, connect mostly to servers near you and will switch auto-renew off. PureVPN is a genuinely reasonable buy at roughly half the money. It is not the better product, it is the better value, and those are different questions. And if you are currently paying separately for a password manager and cloud storage, run the numbers on NordVPN's bundled tier before you decide anything. Against 2 or 3 subscriptions, it can come out cheaper than the cheap one, which is the sort of thing that never shows up in a side-by-side table. So, one more time, short. NordVPN is the better product, PureVPN is the better price, and the thing that will genuinely cost you money is a renewal you forgot was coming. If you landed in that second group, the PureVPN link is in the description, and it is an affiliate link. Now I want to know which one you are actually on right now, and whether the renewal price caught you out. Tell me in the comments.